Hello. Welcome to my place. Let's go into Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 14. And it says, "The beginning of strife is like letting out water. So abandon the quarrel before it breaks out." And there's another verse in verse 22. It says, "A joyful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit dries up the bones." So these two verses caught my spirit this morning. The first one basically says, stop fighting. When you recognize the beginning of strife, it is like letting out some water. Now, I have seen video reels on Facebook and Instagram lately where they open up dams that have been closed for many years. It all starts out like a trickle, and then as the sludge all gets out, the water is a force to be reckoned with. Same thing in a quarrel. If we would just recognize the signs of the fight that is about to happen, we should at that moment make amends so that the full force of the fight doesn't happen. That's the first verse that I read that caught my attention. The second is quite the opposite. We need to be happy because a joyful heart is good medicine. We should have a positive outlook on life and find the things that make us happy and dwell there. Coffee makes me happy. It actually is quite amazing how happy it can make me. Now, I'm not addicted to coffee. The caffeine in it doesn't affect me one bit. I can go without coffee for days with no side effects. My blood pressure is surprisingly low. It doesn't keep me awake at night. You know, back in 2020 when I received the gift of COVID, I took a drink of coffee in the morning and realized how a good cup of coffee affects me. The reason I realized it is that I couldn't taste my coffee. I had lost my sense of taste. Nothing affected me more than the inability to taste my coffee. It was a very sad day for me. It lasted a few days, and my taste came back, and I can tell you I was overjoyed when it did so. Why am I telling you this? Because coffee makes me happy. And so I partake with having a good cup of coffee when I get the opportunity to do so. Now, this does not mean that just any cup of coffee will do. No, I mean a good cup of coffee. Another thing that makes me happy is gathering with like-minded people. This could be at church, or at a conference, or at a seminar, or over a cup of coffee during the week. I really enjoy fellowship with others who think at least a little like I do. And yes, I know that I do think different than a lot of people. But the important thing to remember is like what the author of the book of Hebrews said in Hebrews 10:25. Don't forget to gather with other followers of Christ. Some people, they just don't care about hanging out with other Christians, but it is of vital importance. Just the opposite of what we talked about yesterday with gathering with fools. But at the same time, you need to beware. Sometimes the fools bring their foolishness to church. You need to be aware of those who you join yourself to. It may sound a little harsh, but if you want to grow in Christ and what He has for you, you need to surround yourself with people who will get you there. And those types of people make me happy. Especially when it involves a good cup of coffee. God bless you richly. We'll see you next time.